Hello and welcome to what is one of the fastest hot hatchbacks in the world, the Honda Civic Type R. Anyway, the reason I am showing you this car is not because I'm doing anything front-wheel drive related, it's actually because I've got a budget challenge. And this is a hot hatch. As you can probably imagine, it's had upgrades to improve its handling, speed and its power. So, can you do that on a budget? Because this costs around, what, 40k? This costs a heck of a lot less. In fact, you can get these for under 5k, maybe even less than that. This is an MG3. It was added to Forza as part of a Chinese themed update, as this car is today built in China. It's, fun fact, it's one of the best selling Chinese made cars worldwide. Anyway, this car has not been built for speed or handling, and well, can you turn it into a hot hatch on a budget? So a couple of rules for this challenge. You have 25,000 credits. That makes the budget for in real life around 27,000 credits. So you're not allowed swaps such as the engine or the drivetrain, but you can add like a turbocharger. Oh, and the crucial rule, you are not allowed to use race parts, as that is unrealistic. So no race tyres or race turbos or any sort of that thing. Obviously you're thinking the Civic Type R is overkill, you're never going to beat that on the budget you have and the car you're using, so I've set an easier target, a much easier target, which is this, the JCW Mini. It has had the same sort of recipe as Type R, better upgrades for handling and speed, and well, it's only got 214 horsepower, which is a reasonable benchmark. However, it's heavier. This should be interesting. The first challenge is around the Baja circuit. Now, I could have used the normal festival racetrack, but that would have been boring. So I decided to sort of spice things up a bit and send them around a dirt track. Now, of course, this Mini has a fine rally racing pedigree. In fact, the original Mini, which sold 5.3 million units, won Monte Carlo 3 times. This car has also been entered in various touring car championships, and this particular Mini is the John Cooper Works version, a special edition tuned by Mini's performance company, John Cooper Works. John Cooper being the person who designed the original Mini. And this thing is pretty quick. It's got a turbocharged engine, 0 to 60 around 6.2 seconds. So it is pretty nippy. It's got 208 horsepower. So let's see what this thing can do. Coming up to the final corner, around the bend. I've shortened this track a bit just so it doesn't get too boring. Here's the end. And across the line in 1 minute 19.6. Now, the MG3. As you can see, this thing has been extensively modified with the £25,000 credit budget. It has had some engine tweaks and now produces 204 horsepower, starting from its pitiful 105 horsepower. Still using the same engine with a turbocharger. Still front-wheel drive, had better tyres for the road and lowered suspension and better brakes. They've also given it a few aerodynamic tweaks to make it a little bit faster. In fact, this car sort of has a motorsport history. I mean, it is an MG, but this particular MG3 has its own racing championship, which, I'm not gonna lie, looks a little bit boring. But anyway, this thing seems to be handling the rally circuit pretty well, despite it being on sport tyres. And, well, I think it could challenge the Mini, because it's very much lighter. Okay, coming around the final bend now. Going into the final straight. There's the end. And across the line in 1 minute 19.4. So a little faster than me, that was close. And here's the Mini again in our second challenge, which is winding through the streets of Guanajuato to give you a flavour of what it's like to be a commuter in a rush. If you've got a car like this, then you are bound to use this in an urban area. This is designed to look like a traditional Hispanic town, which has very narrow streets and cobbled roads. This is actually a model of Guanajuato, which is a real town in Mexico which features these really cool underground tunnels. I don't know if I've done any film here before, but anyway, this town is pretty cool. So check it out in game, it's very unique. So I've featured a few shortcuts on this route just to make it a bit more interesting and to test these cars' agility. And as you can see, the Mini is handling this rather well. Okay, going around to the final corner. Will it make it in time? I've got the timer ready. Almost there. And across the line in 1 minute 25.07. Okay, now the MG3. This car's had some handling upgrades, so it should be pretty good here. Okay, so the normal car is unbelievably slow, so it really hasn't got much grunt around town. This thing's now turbocharged, so it should be a heck of a lot nippier, and wow, listen to it. When you change gear, the turbo makes this little fluttering noises. I love that. Oh, this thing is really fast actually. It's probably the first time I've driven this thing over 100 miles an hour, funnily enough. And I've crashed it. Can fit through there, just. I don't even need to rewind. Okay, giving a bit of a handbrake there. Now past the church. This bit's quite narrow. Hit the wall. Oh, don't roll over. Okay. We'll flick it into reverse by accident, no worries. You can make up some time. Bit more handbrake. Just missed the wall. This thing's actually got a pretty good turning circle, not gonna lie. Okay. Here it is. Coming up to the end. Won't make it. I'm looking at the stopwatch. These are good. It's going to be close. Really close. In 1 minute 24.59. Okay, so now hatchback has to be fast to be a hot hatchback. So I'm going to do top speed run. However, this one's going to be a little different. Instead of being boring and driving a car up a motorway, I'm going to throw it down the side of a mountain. Okay, off we go in the Mini, and we've landed and we are setting off. This hill's pretty steep, so we should get some pretty good gravity. Anyway, the speed is off the charts at the moment. It's 179 we hit. I don't know, maybe we went faster. And we're just going to do jump at the end for the fun, who cares. Here's the top speed, 180 for one frame. Okay, now I've got slightly less hopes for this because, well, I could only give it a sport gearbox, so it's still got 5 speeds, so it's going to be limited. But anyway, we're going to throw this thing off a cliff anyway. I know a lot of people don't really like this car. Okay, it's off. 93, over 100. Oh wow, it's climbing a bit. Come on. 166 that was. Oh dear. I'm afraid having 5 speeds really does limit the speed. That is unfortunate, but still, that is, you don't get content like this on any other channel. Here is the top speed, and that concludes our test. So there you are. You can beat a hot hatchback on a budget, well, in handling and stuff, but you have beaten the hatchback nevertheless, and it was Well, it was pretty close actually. Looking at the times, that was pretty impressive, considering this tiny, weak little car has managed to beat a purpose-made hot hatch. So, if you have this car, try this challenge for yourself. In fact, try to send me your times for the Guanajuato run and the Baja circuits. I would love to see them in the comments. Anyway, I hope you loved this video. Please subscribe for more like this in the future, and until next time, goodbye.